someone to save.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode in a new setup. I do see that I have some dropped frames for some reason, but hey, welcome. My name is Petra Verbruggen, and let's check how things how it will go today. There's a new setup that we will definitely be talking about. But before I do that, let's say hi to some people. This is also related to the setup that I cannot show it underneath the screen at the moment, but know that I can see your comments, especially if you are on YouTube. Facebook is a little bit of a problem at the moment, but welcome, MT. Really appreciate you for taking the time here. Rudy is also in. Nothing better to clear the head, but in a live stream, definitely, absolutely agree with that statement. And MT also says the same. Gerrit is also in the house. He says hello from Grüße, hello from Stuttgart, Germany, and of course MT says Grüße nach Stuttgart. Then I see automation for vMix. Hello from Sweden. Goedenavond. Really appreciate you for taking the time to be here. Love your handle, by the way. We're not going to really talk about vMix today, but a little bit. But that is okay. And also, my dad is in the house. He is currently looking over my cats. All right, so for what we're going to do today is that I have a setup in front of me with two YoloBoxes. I'm going to show that with my camera right here. Wait a sec. Here. With my phone. Will take some time before it loads. There it is. Make sure that there's no audio. No audio there. And let's show it what it looks like. So this is the setup at the moment. We've got the YoloBox Pro right here. We have a Yolobox Mini right there. There's one camera that I can use for both of them. There's this one right here. It's right there. This camera will be used for both boxes. The SD card, which is here in this box right here. Yeah, you can see that still right there. Will be also flipped around. But in order to make things more easy, we're using the ATEM to connect everything together. I know that when I'm close to the microphone, there will be some static. That's the way it is. Anyway, right. So, I already a little bit told you a little bit about the setup of today, but I actually also prepared something for you. Before I show it to you, it is literally let's say a big copy of what vMix always does during their live stream, is that they show you around what you have, etc. And I'm gonna do rather the same, so I'm actually copying their idea. It is what it is. But here you go. So this is the setup for today. In the bottom, you see me on the main camera. I'm going via a Sony a6400 into a Bird Dog Mini to convert the HDMI to NDI. Then on top of that, you see the Yolobox display, which is currently on a multi-view, but I am able to go to other locations if I'd like. And then on top of that, we also see the iPhone camera, which is currently not really doing anything at the moment, but of course that is also available to me. So then at least you know how everything is connected. For the iPhone app, I'm using the NDI HX camera app, and for the YoloBox, I'm running everything via the ATEM Mini Pro, which for some reason does not update at the moment. So let's check where that is coming from. This looks good. That looks good. Maybe I just need to refresh this one, and then it will most likely do it again. Interesting. It's not working. All right, so well, that's something that we need to work on. briefly. So let's try things out. So I need to make sure that this one is restarted, and I need to make sure that this one is restarted, and then everything is fine, and I can see now that it's working. So that is that. Yeah, so empty. Great shirt, says Rudy Engels. Thank you so much. This is indeed the Simple Minds' new Gold Dream, one of my favorite albums ever. And they actually had a concert fully only for that album. In the I think it was August of this year, which is really cool. And this is just a special shirt to commemorate that location. So I also see a different question, and I actually have to go back to the overview. So I'll do that now. So there you go. So here you go. This is the overview again. I actually wanted to show you first this one right here. So as you can see, last week we still had the Tech Condo PC, which was 12 years old. And last week it also was having some issues. That was on Saturday evening, but it was also on Sunday morning and also on Tuesday again. So basically, it started to become a bit of an issue. And those issues were related to both the USB and also sometimes that it didn't want to really start up anymore. So that was a bit of a problem. What do you do then? Well, what you do then is that you figure out another way of doing it. Now, for a 12-year-old system, there are multiple things that can go wrong. At this moment in time, it was really the motherboard that, and more specifically the USB controller that had quite some issues. It has been having those issues from the start, from day one. And for now it was time to move. So which means that if I look back on this screen right here, and you pay attention to the computer, then it's end of life. So that means that I'm not going to use it anymore, also not for this show. And I actually have replaced it by this Lenovo Legion 5 Pro, which is a Windows 11 Windows 11 laptop with a 11th. Did I say that correctly? Yeah, 11th Gen i7, an NVIDIA RTX 3060, which means that it does allow for resizable bar and 16 gigs of RAM, and of course it runs vMix, my application of choice for the show that I have right here. So yes, you did spot a new notebook. MT says, as always, when you think all run perfect, something unexpected happens. Yeah, so there are a few things that I'm seeing on my screen, at least, is that I do see that it's a little bit choppy today. So I need to figure that out. Why is that so choppy? Because earlier today it was okay. So what happens? What's the difference between the two? Is it something locally on the laptop, or is it something with the connection? I didn't change anything on the system itself, so it should be working. And besides that, I do not know. Now, what I do want to know is that if this one is working again. Yes, it's working again. Perfect. So finally, I can start to do the demo in the meantime. So yeah, so let me know what you think about this. I'm still using all of the other stuff, which is standard. But today we're going to talk about specifically about the Yolobox. One of the few things that is not working correctly at the moment is, and I think that it has something to do with that it needs Chrome to do it perfectly, is that in order to have the lower thirds with your comments, I need to log on to the web browser. For some reason, that is not well seen by vMix, but that's most likely because I'm not running Chrome at the moment. So that's something that we need to figure out. Neil says, did you go electronics shopping together with the vMix guys? Well, Niels, no. But you are paying attention indeed, Niels, because indeed this is related to the machines that we had been running vMix on locally at the IBC 2022. So this is literally one of the machines that they had right there. Now, before you say that I've stolen it and this is a running gag, no, I haven't. This is not 100% the same, but it is very, very close. So indeed, I am using a Lenovo Legion system, and it is a very nice sub €2,000 laptop, so it's less than €2,000, and it's doing a great job with vMix for that part. And because everything is NDI based in my studio, I think that this is really going very well, especially for the first time. All right. So today we're not going to talk about the laptop. We're definitely going to talk about that at the later stage. We're going to talk about the Yolobox, and specifically two Yoloboxes, because I have two Yoloboxes in front of me, as you've seen, the Yolobox Mini and the Yolobox Pro, where the Yolobox Pro is the one that I have purchased myself, and the Yolobox Mini is the one that I have not purchased myself, and I've actually received it via Yololiv. And again, to show it to you, this is the Yolobox Pro, so then you have a bit of a comparison. How big is it? It's quite a big system. Now, I am using also a stand by Aaron Paraki, as you can see. I'm going to show you this side as well. So the stand, it doesn't come with the stand, but this is the Techano color stand by Aaron Paraki, and you will see that color coming a lot in all of my gear that I have right here. So if you look at this side of the things, you'll see that from let me see, from left to right. So from this is right. Jeez. Okay. Well, okay. Let's do it with the finger just for the sake of it. So that is the power. So this is where you can feed the machine via USB-C. This USB-C port only can perform power. It does not provide data. Then you've got the line and mic connectors right here. So this is where you can bring in external audio, like for example the DJI set that I have right here. It really works quite nicely, and definitely a recommendation. Then you've got here a headphone jack so that you can listen to your own audio to figure it out. Now, that being said, if you are using this as a monitor when you are talking, that does not work. There is too much delay in there, so I would definitely recommend that if you are talking yourself, just to remove it, but just use it for when music is playing or you want to hear the other party when you're not talking. So that is the, where is it? Right there. That's the headphone jack right there. Then you'll see here a USB-C port, the second USB-C port, and this USB-C port can actually act as a webcam, and that is one of my favorite use cases, because I am actually using the Yolobox for my day-to-day job. That is where I'm using it the most for. Now, I'm also using it for if I'm on location with Taekwondo, or maybe for some reason I have an issue with my vMix system, like maybe last week, and I did not get in time with this laptop. Then I would have most likely used the Yolobox for the time being, but I was in luck that I could actually order it and I have it within the week. Yeah, like after 3 times of having problems, it made sense. Then we go one step further. This is the HDMI out. So this is the HDMI out that we're also going to use today to show you the screen. Then we've got a network cable. I'm not going to use it today because I am actually using the 4G modem that is built that I've put inside. Then I've got a USB-A So you can bring in a webcam without any problems. That's really nice. So for example, if you have a Logitech lying around, I mean, then you can just use that. That is a very good way of bringing in a camera. And then you've got not one, but 3 HDMI inputs on the Yolobox Pro. Then on the bottom, which is right here, you have here the power on and off button. So you just press it 5 seconds and it will switch on, and after about 30 seconds or so it will be fully ready to go. This is the SIM card slot right there. This is where you can put in your SIM card, and this is the SD card for some videos or pictures that you have. And then last but not least, right there is a tripod mount, so that at least you can also put it on a tripod. So that is how it looks like. So I will be putting this one in HDMI out, and I will be putting the camera in this one to start in just a minute. But before I do that, I also want to use this as a comparison video as well. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them, because it is important to me to know what you want to know about the YOLO boxes that I have in front of me. I need to remove this part for a second. I'll also remove the HDMI port here. This is the Yolobox Mini, and as you can see, it is way smaller than the other one. It also comes with a nice Aaron Parecki stand. Very, very nice. Also extremely cool color. So if you like it, go ahead and go to pk1.tv. There you'll see all the other cases as well for 810 minis, but also for the Yolobox. This is a little bit different because this one is actually loose, so you can just very easily remove it. And so this is the Yolobox Mini. As you can see, it's way smaller, but don't let that fool you, because it's actually a very nice product. So I'm going to start with the side that we just saw for the first time, and that is here you have a tripod mount. Here you have the SD cards reader right there. This other side, there you go. It's quite difficult to do that. Let me give some more light. Here on the other side, there you have the SD card reader, and last but not least, a power on and power off switch. And on the other side, that this is where it becomes really apparent that we're still talking about a full-on product. So moving from this side to that side, a USB-C port. There's only one USB-C port on the Yolobox Mini. This is only for power, so that means that there is no USB-C output for the webcam, but there's another way. Then we have here a headphone jack. Then we've got the line and the mic right here. Then for audio, I mean. Then we have an Ethernet port. We have HDMI out. We've got USB-A for the webcam, but you can also convert it to a webcam output. I'm going to show you how you do that. And here you've got one HDMI in. So that is this one. And again, this one is sent to me by Yololiv to talk about, and also to play around with it, and to basically see if it's something that I can use in my setup. And we're also going to talk about which one I'm going to use for the most part in my at my day-to-day job. Let me see if there's any chat. Hey, welcome, Veal. Welcome. Sorry, again, cannot show it to you there. Hey, Petra, says Mike, any reason why you're not using your HP Omen? Says Mike. Well, it's a very good question. I'm still having the HP Omen right there, but it's way more, there's more fan noise than this one right here. Yes, there is fan noise, and you might pick it up. I certainly can hear it, but if I would have the HP Omen sitting next to me as close as this laptop, because if I'm touching the front of it, I'm not touching the monitor of it, then it will have more loudness. That's the first reason why I have not chosen for this. The second reason is that I'm using the HP Omen for everything related to on location business. So there's a lot of ATEM software products on it, and it has also a bigger storage. It has 1 terabyte. This one only has 500 gigs of storage built in. So that's the difference. They're both 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's an 8th gen i7 processor, and this is an 11th gen processor. Both of them are really great, and it's definitely not related to the quality of the stream. It's more related to the fan noise that I'm not using it. MT says it's an 8-inch display. Yes, it would. MT says it would be nice to have a second SD card slot for records. I totally understand that, and I think that that's right, MT. Phil says I had to restart my garage computer. I keep it on 24/7 for my video surveillance at my house. That is awesome. MT says, question: any knowledge for a new Yolobox coming? I looked at Thomann in Germany, and the Yolobox isn't available anymore. I'm not sure, to be honest. They have not said anything about that to me, but it does make sense that the Yolobox will be replaced to a newer version. It has been out for just a few years already, I think, for 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm expecting that there will be some additions. That being said, if you look at the latest that they've released, the in-stream, which is basically, I would state, the Yolobox Mini, but then in a vertical area. The box is roughly the same, but it does have a faster CPU in there, so next generation CPU. So and it also is different if it comes to the application. So don't be mistaken. Even though the in-stream looks really a lot like the Yolobox Mini, it's definitely not the same product. It's also not comparison. You cannot even flip it around to a like a landscape mode, which is, in my opinion, quite awkward, but their choice. Mike says, interesting. I used a $20 external USB cooling pad, which is very quiet and minimizes need to use a laptop here. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, no worries, Mike. Great and interesting to check that out for me as well, because yeah, especially now it's not really that hot. It's about 21 degrees Celsius here in the studio, but a couple of weeks ago it was even 27, 28 degrees, and then the fan kicks in, and I really mean I love my HP Omen. It's perfect. I'm looking at it right now because I'm still using it, and I will definitely be using it moving forward still. Yeah. So that's the biggest reason. Another reason, and I didn't really talk about it yet, is the resizable bar, which is available on this Legion. And resizable bar allows you to not be limited by the 256 megabytes. Yeah, 256 megabytes of cache to run your GPU operations. With a resizable bar, you can use the whole GPU as a memory stack, so that also means that it has less to do. Now, that being said, I still need to switch that on this computer, but again, just had it for a couple of days, and I'm still getting used to it. And it's, of course, going from a desktop PC with everything on it to just a laptop is quite a change, but it's a really good change. This monitor is, by the way, 4K, of course, 4K, and the other one was HD. All right, going back to the Yolobox, because that was what we're talking about today. So let's switch on the YoloBox Pro first, and then let's go to the Mini so that we have some comparison. So I'm going to switch it on. So I'm holding down the on-off button for 5 seconds. Then I cannot show it to you now at the moment, but it will show you the YoloBox logo, and we'll try to be as quickly as I can to show you on this camera how it looks like before it becomes available. So this is what I see. So it's still starting up, and there you go. So I'm still not there. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So that flickering, I believe, has something to do that I didn't have my HDMI cable good in it. But anyhow, so click here to create a live stream or enter a other mode, and then you have a plus sign right here. But I see that it's now available, so now I will go back to the other side of things, and that is, of course, the ATEM switcher. So let's go here. Boom. So here you go. And maybe if I forgot one thing, and I think that I can. Oh, that's interesting. Well, you know, we're gonna do it live. I know it's wrong here. It's upside down. So I'll fix it very quickly. By the way, something that they have not said to you at all is that with vMix 26, there's also the possibility to rotate in intervals of 90 degrees, which is not possible at the moment. So that is definitely a change that is welcome, because now I need to do that manually. So I'm going to rotate this manually. And there's always a bit of a struggle to find the right setup. And then, of course, I also want to zoom out a little bit so that you have all of it on screen right there. So let's do that live, because, hey, this is also a bit of a show to say how to do things, right? So this is the Yololiv welcome screen, and as you can see on the top position, you have information on the SIM card. You have information on having an SD card, yes or no, and you also see that it has 100% full battery, which I just did this morning just for the sake of it. And if you do this, you can set the brightness. So what I basically did was, you cannot see that right there, but the brightness is changed, and that's just pushing down from the top of the screen and going down. Then you see this figure on the top right position, and if you click on that, you will see information on getting to places. Standard, you have the possibility to connect to Facebook, to YouTube, to Twitch, and to any RTMP-S stream that you'd like. Now, that being said, you can do to anything that you like. But I would always do it then via, for example, Restream or the Yololiv connection that they have themselves as well. You do have to have a Yolobox account, which is in this case basically my Gmail account. Then I can check the about settings here, so I can see what the serial number is, what the MAC address is, what the firmware is. By the way, this is the latest firmware update that we have, so I'm running 3.0. You can set the language, which basically means for most of us that's only English, but I hope that they should actually also enter, for example, German and that kind of stuff, because of course a lot of people are either speaking German or Spanish or Italian or that kind of stuff. So I would recommend them to increase the amount of languages that are available. There is a possibility to check recordings, as you can see. So there is an SD management system these days. You can also just select and just hit delete, or select all and hit delete. You can also see how much space that I have left, which is fantastic. You can set the screen rotation right here. I'm not going to do that at the moment. Of course, you can log out. I'm not going to do that. Network settings, you can connect to either to Wi-Fi or to other network settings. Well, I've done it already. There's already a 4G modem in there. This is the way that you can upgrade if you like. But that being said, if a new version is out, it will also automatically be pushed, so you don't have to look at the website to figure out if there's something new. Yololiv will make sure that it will be pushed to your device so that it can be installed. The time zone in my case is Amsterdam because I live in the Netherlands. Makes sense. And here you also have the possibility to update the system, but never do that. Restore factory settings, we're not going to do that. And of course also diagnostic logs, and so you can see all of the things that are happening in the system. So that's basically everything that's related to the system without really going live. Let me check if there are any questions in the meantime. I do see what GPU is built in the notebook. It is a RTX 3060 3060. All right. Then if you hit the plus sign on the bottom right, you can then choose between either creating a live stream or alternatively performing a monitor mode. And well, we're not going to create a live stream today, but if you press on creating a live stream, it will automatically ask for a screen title, a description, and you can also schedule it. So you can schedule a date, time, and then just hit create, and then it will automatically schedule an event for you on either YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. And it will also make sure that everything is connected. Now, it only does the title and descriptions. It does not provide a nice thumbnail, for example. So you do need to have a laptop with you anyway to perform that. So, for example, if you look at the IBC videos that I did a couple of weeks ago, these were all without a thumbnail. And the reason why they are without a thumbnail is that that is out of the box. And I wanted to make it as real as I could make it. So that is the way that it goes. Hitting the arrow and boom, we're back to that screen right there. Then hitting the red plus again. We're going to go to monitor mode. And in monitor mode, you see that I have a video loading. With the new version of this, with the Yolobox, it does remember everything that you've set up front. That is new. That was not there a couple of weeks ago. That is solely something that is new, which I think is fantastic. I really love that is the case. And I will go to a bigger screen right now because I want you to pay attention to everything that you see on the screen without me being in the screen. I don't need to be there. So let's give you, there you go. Okay, so what do you see here? Well, let's on the top right position where it now states Petra will be live in 9 minutes and 13 seconds. That is where the program out is situated. So everything that is on the top right position is program out. If it's too small, you can hit the arrows on the bottom right position of that video by clicking like this, and then you'll see a full screen, which is quite nice and handy because that's the way that you can really see what you're streaming. But I would prefer to do it this way due to the fact that I want to explain to you how everything is working. Moving from top to bottom and from left to right. So left on the top, you see the arrow. The arrow will always bring you back one screen. So if I hit the arrow, I can exit the live stream like so. I'm back. Hitting the plus sign again, monitor mode again, you'll see that it will come back as if nothing happened. The only thing is that it will count down from the 10 minutes and 5 seconds, I believe, that I've added before. Next to that arrow, you see the green bars, which is typically just audio. This audio that you see right here is not me saying anything. It's the music that is on the video that I have added here, so that it looks like I am running this via vMix. Then, besides that, on the right hand side from that, you see 1080p. If I click on the arrow behind that, you'll see that there is a possibility to also have 720p or 480p. Personally, let me go here. Personally, I don't see any reason to go for 480p at the moment. However, 720p does make sense for me in some cases. If my network is so bad, I would like to go still have a quality, but have less than 720 will do. But 1080p is, in my opinion, really, really good. So we're keeping it on 1080p. Then next to that, you see a replay option. And replay is literally what it states, is that you can, like for example for sports, you can just hit the replay mode, and what it automatically does, it will just look a few seconds back and replay that part, so that, for example, there's a goal and I want to see the goal again. And it's also possible to set the speed of it so that it becomes a little bit more slow motion. Now, of course, it's not that it runs with 120 frames per second, so that it's very smooth if you do that. But hey, it is possible to do that, and definitely something that is interesting for some reasons. And if you are doing a lot of sports, I think that this is quite a nice feature, in my opinion. I personally would go for vMix, obviously, but you guys know that. But definitely, this is a very nice product and a nice way of doing that. One of the features that I really will use quite often is the record button. You can record this and start the recording right now. I'm literally recording it as I'm going. So whatever I'm doing right now is recorded. And once I'm done with the recording, you also see on the top center, it states recording is 0000 and 14 seconds, 15, 16. So you can actually see how long the show has been going on. Clicking on record again stops the recording, and boom, it is then saved and ready to go for the next time. So now it stays recording saved successfully, and now I can just add video recording, go to local video, and add it right here on the start. I will show that one more time, just don't worry about it. So that is everything that you see on the quadrant top left. Below that, you see the inputs. Just like on vMix, the inputs are also on vMix on the lower end of things. Let me show you the new screen, and then you also see that it's not anymore actually widescreen, but it's a awkward setup, but it definitely does its job quite nicely. So on the bottom here, you see the inputs on vMix, and that is roughly also the same that you see here on the system as well. Now, well, let's talk about what you can do with this part. So if I press and hold this video, I can just remove it. I'm going to delete it. I'm not deleting it from the system. I'm just deleting it as an input for this program, or for this project. Add video source. There's a plethora of video sources available. If I would switch on my camera, it will automatically pick up that the HDMI 1 becomes available as well, and so that I can actually add that as well. Now, I do think that it will automatically show it right here. So here you go. There I am. So I've added HDMI 1 as a camera source right there. And now I'm adding a second part, and that can be, for example, a local video. Now, I don't believe that I've shown that to you, so I'm going to add my hotel room right here. Hit done. Let's go back. I'm going to press and hold this one again, delete it. And I'm going to hit add video source again. Go to local video 1. And here you can see the USB storage. So in this case, I do not have USB storage connected. which is possible. So you can just add an external drive to this system, and that will also be available to you. But it does come at a cost, because that means that the USB-A slot is gone. Then you can go to the SD card, and well, I've pre-recorded that one, but like I said, I'm gonna go with the hotel room, and boom, the hotel room is ready for that. Then I can also state I want to do something else. Now, I don't think that I have PDFs, but you can add a PDF as a presentation slide. So you can, for example, do the following, either in Keynote or in PowerPoint. You can just export to PDF, and then you can use the Yolobox to run that PDF. And actually, you can actually use buttons to swipe through the presentation, so that it's like you're literally using it on a separate device, but on the Yolobox itself, which is quite nice in my opinion. Going back to the SD cards, and also USB storage, nothing there. So let's go back. And you've got a lot of multi-views at your disposal. You've got a picture-in-picture, a split view. I do like the split view a little bit more than side-by-side, because with side-by-side, you can add this one and that one. So select this A source, select B source right there. Then you can have this as a, oh, you don't see me. Oops. Let me go back. Didn't realize that I was not live. Sorry for that. Sorry. So looking back, going back to the add video source right here, then I can go down, and here you see a lot of multi-views that are at your disposal. And like I said, you have, for example, side-by-side or split view, and I like split view a little bit more. But for side-by-side, you can hit select A source right here, and you can select local video right there. And then you have this nice setup. You can also set a backdrop, which I think this is a perfect backdrop for Taekwondo. However, this backdrop can also be a video. So this one, for example, is a looping video that comes with with the Yolobox, and it has a little bit more of a dynamic flavor to it. And you can add a bit more border thickness if you like. You can slide over, like for example this part. Now, of course, I need to change my video like so. So that I'm right here on the side, and on this side right there, you see the video at your disposal. I can also swap videos if I don't like it this way, but for now, this is a very good setup. I hit done, and boom, I can just go there, and this is live and available to you. Now, so going back, so that's an idea about the inputs that you have at your disposal. There, at the moment, because I'm in monitor mode, some are not possible at the moment, so I'm not able to go to live to certain locations, of course. But I can go into the audio mixer, and as you can see, everything has a audio part. You can also add, for example, a line in video if you'd like. Line in audio. And then it will also pop up as well, and you can also set a little bit of delay if really needed, so that is all more in sync. Before I continue, I want to check if there are any questions, and I also want to drink a little bit, because right? Let me see. Is it only touchscreen, or will it also support keyboard and mouse? It will support keyboard and mouse. I've not added it myself, but it will support that. That is possible. Namaste. Really cool to see you. I did see you somewhere else as well this week. That's really cool. Phil says you can choose resolutions like 720p if you have bad LTE signal, but can you tell Yolobox that I have only 2 megabits max upload speed and use 1080p? No, you can't. So that specific tailoring that you have available on the most of the streaming systems, that is not possible, and that's also not the intent, I think, of what they want to achieve. I think what Yololiv is doing, and I think that they're doing a great job of that, is that they want to provide a professional experience for the viewer, but they also want to have a easy, non-technical experience for the user of it. So you can see what I'm going at, right? So either you have a very good user experience, but you also want to keep it simple. And of course, that does not compute all the time, because you want to have that flexibility to really have a professional grade stream, and you also want to have that because you want to have your own layouts and that kind of stuff. So that is what I would like to do. However, from the other side of things, this will open up streaming for so much people that I really think that this is good as a solution. And basically, for me, during my day-to-day job, I'm not as picky on layout as I am here on this channel, or if I have a paid gig, I will be more, let's say, looking into the branding and making sure everything looks pixel perfect. That is the way that I am always working. However, this will not do that. This is not pixel perfect. Is that a problem? I don't think so. I think a lot of people will still be blown away by what you can do with this setup. And it's not about how you do it; it's what the user, your viewer experiences. MT says, talk about the USB port. Will the Yolobox support a USB hub for use of camera along with USB stick? And will the Yolobox support a presenter to click through a PDF slide? So yes, it will be able to click through a PDF slide on the device itself. So yes, that is definitely a yes. I do not know if a USB hub will work. I'm a bit hesitant to say yes about that one due to the fact, I have not tried it. I do have a hub, so I can try it. So I'll try. I think that that's a good test. So I'll do that at the later stage. But I do think that looking at the amount of power that the CPU and GPU needs to run all of this, I do expect that it will have some hiccups. That's my expectation. So I don't think so, to be honest. Okay, one last sip and then we can continue with the walkthrough. All right, moving on to the next one. The next one is basically something that I've never gonna use. That's a scoreboard display. Well, not never. I don't know. But with the scoreboard, you can add scoreboards to your games, and you can make it any style that you like. You can add the game name. You can. So this is the way that you can add something. So, for example, I like PSV. Oh, then of course I need to add PSV. PSV Eindhoven. That's of course a very good football or soccer team, depending on where you are in the world. So that's PSV done. And then this one is gonna go to I don't know, Ajax. There you go. And of course, I can tell you front that who is gonna win. Store display, I can add that. Oh. That doesn't look good, right? So I can just add it right there. So now you can see it how it looks like below there, and I can add that PSV of course has 3 to IX is 0, and there you go. Very easy to do. The next one is for comments. I cannot show that to because I'm not live on the system, but once you're there, I do think that the commenting system is really, really nice in the sense that you can actually now have one curated list of both YouTube and Facebook and everything that is combined, which is I think is really cool. If you really want to have only Facebook or YouTube, even though you're multi-streaming, then it is still possible to have a tab to, for example, only see Facebook or only see YouTube comments. Personally, I don't see why I wanted to do that, but it is what it is. Then you are able to also perform auto switching functions, and you can actually show you what video sources you want to go with. And that is all very handy if you're all by yourself and you want to have a bit of a dynamic situation going on. Then that would be helpful. Personally, I would not do that, but hey, I'm just a person that then, last but not least, is of course the settings, and there are quite some settings available on the Yolobox Pro. As you can see, it goes on and on and on. So let's go ahead. So the video source switching mode, you can either click to switch or double click to switch. And I am in the camp of now clicking. However, looking at what happened about 2 weeks ago, where I was playing with another video, it will automatically go to another location. I think that will be will not happen with the double click mode. So maybe I'm going to go into the double click mode moving forward. Of course I need to switch again. Going to the YOLO video switching settings, you can say if I'm running a local video, continue playing when switching. That means that on the back side of things, you still hear the video. It's still playing and still playing all the time, which is, for example, for a looping backdrop, very interesting. But if it's for interviews, etc., I would not do that. Going back to the next one, resume first frame and pause when switching. That's another possibility. And pause when switching is the last one. I would state pause when switching will be a good one. I also think that this one is good. Resume with the first frame and pause when switching. That is, I think, what I would choose. Then local video display mode. Either you loop or you stop at the last frame. Definitely, in most cases, you want to stop at the last frame, unless it's a looping backdrop video. You've got your SD card management. It's basically the same SD card management SD card management that you saw previously. Also here you're able to select, for example, the last video that I've created today, and then I'm gonna hit delete and I'm gonna remove it. Boom, gone, which is quite nice. And indeed you can go up and down. You cannot see what it is, so you cannot play it here. So it's literally only file-based verifications. Then you have some program out and USB out, where this is quite interesting, because the program out will change the output of what you guys see. So if I press program out, you will see, well, the program out. There you go. So that, and if I press down back, you will see this part again. Why is that so important? I think that this is a very good setup, specifically towards what Phil also mentioned earlier on. If you have a lesser quality signal, then in some cases you might want to not use the 4K, the 4G modem that is built into the Yolobox Pro, but you want to use the, for example, a Live View Solo, which I have right there somewhere. which means that you can bond multiple streams of multiple 4G modems, and therefore the quality should theoretically be better, or at least more stable than via the Yolobox. With the so then in that case it would be good to output the program out via the HDMI to the to the live view, and from there on stream it or to something else. Going back, you have the USB out. This will automatically make it possible to. So here it says that please add up to 3 HDMI sources for the best experience when directly outputting to the computer. USB-A and SD card feeders are not recommended. So So that's not recommended. It doesn't say that you cannot do it. It's not recommended. However, now the USB-A port becomes available as a webcam out. So now I can bring it into, for example, Teams or Zoom, and from there on I can make a very nice experience in my day-to-day job. This is what I do most of the time, to be honest, with this with the Yolobox, but maybe not with the Pro. Well, let's talk about that later. Video source transitions, the default is cut, but you can also make fade, wipe, whatever. Fade to black, I typically don't use it here, but yes, it's also possible. I don't like the way that fade to black operates, because it's a bit awkward, because now I need to do it like this. But anyway, it works, and there's a lot of different options that you can see here. Quite a lot of different transitions. For example, a cross zoom can be done, and if I then press on this one, it will automatically do this one, like in different look and feel, as you can see right there. Let me change that back quickly, because I don't want to forget that. There you go. The video output mode is HDMI out. Yes. Encoding settings. So here you do have the possibility to set the encoding. So I was a little bit lying to you. Feel you are able to do it, but you need to do it there, and you cannot do that. I think during the stream. I don't think that that's possible. I've not tried that during the stream, but it's quite complex to do that, in my opinion, for most people. Most people, not for you, but for most people. Recording limits. So that says something about the file size that you have. I typically put it on 60 minutes. That's good enough for me. But I can imagine that you want to go to 10 minutes or something. Storage settings. SD cards is available. USB storage is not available. So this is basically where you set your default. Do you want to go with SD card, or do you want to go with the USB storage, if you have both of them available at the same time? And then you got your replay settings, and this is where you see what I just meant. So it goes back 10 seconds. That's what you see right above, and you can set the speed here. So you want to do it quite slow motion, 25 times, or 0.25 times, or real time. And you can also say mute other audios during the replay, or show the replay over other programs. So as you can see, the YoloBox Pro is quite a impressive setup. There's a lot of functionality at your disposal, and I cannot wait to also show you the Yolobox Mini. But before I do that, let me check if there are any questions. Vils says, I'm not going to say that word. A scoreboard, cool feature, but you can't record replay clips to show simultaneously as you are streaming. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So let's do that. Let's do that live. So let's go here. Okay, so yeah, you see me on this screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something for replay. So I'm going to wait for about 10 seconds and do nothing, just to show that there's nothing going on. And if I'm then hitting replay, Oh yeah, so of course I'm recording. So I'm gonna first record, start recording, and then I'm gonna do something like waving. Now sticking around. I'm gonna hit replay, and I'm not doing anything. And this is the wave of just a few seconds ago. Exit replay, and we're back. I'll just stop recording for the sake of it. But that's the way that you can do it. You can do that live. That's no problem. So that is that. Hey Orbital, welcome. Great to see you. Awesome. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna switch off. I'm gonna go to the Yolobox Mini, and we're gonna go through the same parts so that you guys have a bit of a feeling on what we're talking about. So I'm gonna use the HDMI in, the same camera. I'm gonna switch off this computer. Oh, by the way, switching off. Let's do that right here. So I'm hitting top left, the arrow, done. And what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna press and hold the power off button for a few seconds, and then hit power off. And once I've done that, I can flip to camera 2, and then I'm gonna start to connect the Yolobox Mini right here, making sure that everything is connected. And I also will remove this part right here, right there. This is the placeholder for the SD card, and I'm gonna flip the SD card from the YoloBox Pro, like so. This is the SD card. I'm gonna put it into the Yolobox Mini. I think that I have to flip it. Yes, I have to flip it. There you go. So now I can remove the Yolobox from this. Putting it there. So I have a little bit more space to work with. And then switching it on. I'm doing that. Here you see it switching on right there. So yeah, it's on top, I know, but Yololiv. And then it will start to flip a little bit a few times. Right there, and then it will do a almost there. There you go. And now it's also available on the screen, and this is an interesting one. So it starts with this one because I have a SIM card with a code, a PIN code. So I will be entering that of course off camera, and then hit OK. And there you go. Now we're back. So it starts really the same way as the other one. No changes. Same look and feel. 86% as you can see. Also, this is exactly the same. It's actually using the same accounting information. So I did not have to put anything in there. I just had to press my username and password, and boom, it worked like a charm from the get-go. Then if I go into this place, I of course did already say a lot, so I'm gonna go to the monitor mode, and this is a little bit different. Here you do not have those quadrants at your disposal, so that is a little bit of a different beast. That is because of course your screen real estate is way smaller than what you had on the YoloBox Pro. The only difference is that this is really 16 by 9, and the other one is not 16 by 9. It's a little bit more taller than 16 by 9. Now, of course, I can switch on a camera, so I will do that. So I am expecting that the camera will be available if I press on this one. There you go. So now you see that it's a little bit of a different beast. So now I can... if I click on those arrows right here, the second icon, I can add video sources again, like I did before. I can add, for example, a video source right here. And as you can see, it's the same video as we had prior. I can even add exactly the same video right there. And I can actually also add well, let's go back to those arrows right below. Then add, for example, a split screen again. It's a little bit less as the other one, but hey, of course I only have one HDMI channel, so it is a little bit more limited, but still very nice. So I can hit the A source, next, B source, next, and then I can basically. So this is a little bit roughly what the possibilities are. You can do this like so if you like. For example, this is quite okay, and then you have roughly the same situation as you did on the other one. Also overlays, which I totally forgot on the YoloBox Pro, so I'm going to use it right here. You have multiple overlays at your disposal, and maybe I should go back to the YoloBox Pro because I totally forgot about that one. But here, if you hit the plus sign, you have the possibility to add overlays. You can add image overlays, lower thirds, YouTube timers, etc., etc. So for example, image overlays, I have a few. For example, I want to have this backdrop right here. I can add that like so. I hit done. And then basically if I press this, I'll see a full on screen that is just a graphic. I can switch it off right there. I can even set, I think, at least I know that's on the YoloBox Pro, I can hit auto hide after 10 seconds. So if and of course I can change that time if I'd like. So if I hit done and I hit this, then you will see that, and I'm going to hold like so, and after 10 seconds or so, it will automatically remove that overlay and go back to my screen right there. So that is really a nice setup in my opinion. Of course, I can also add countdown timers if I like, for example, like so. I can add a background music. Well, I can, for example, add this one right here. And then once I can even change colors if I would like. I mean, if I don't like this color wheel, well, maybe I should add this one right here, the more purple one right here. Boom, done. So if I now press this one, it will automatically start to countdown. Now it is a little bit more black, as you can see right here, but that black is not on the program out. That's really to show you that there's an overlay, because if I press like so, you'll see the real coloring that you have at your disposal. Now going back to the layering and removing this one. Done. Let's delete it. Let's delete this one as well. All right. You can also add, for example, lower thirds. Now you have a fluffer to check. So, for example, if I want to have this one, I can add that. I can actually move it with my finger to top and down. I can change the title. I can change the name. For example, I want to change the title here. I can make it Petra, for example. So, and the subtitle is, for example, Tech Condo. One word. It's done. So now, if I press this, you will see Petra and Tech Condo. So that is how easy it is to use that. On the YoloBox Pro, you have the possibility to also use to write down the title of a overlay, or so it's easier to figure out what it is. So for example, if you have multiple lower thirds, you don't see which lower third is what. So on the YoloBox Pro, on the new version, they have enabled the possibility to add a label so that it's easier to figure that out. So some questions coming in. Understand I write you need to be online to operate the YoloBox, even when you only have a use case for switching and use the USB-C for Teams, etc. No, you can run locally. Actually, that's what I'm doing right now. It's just that for streaming, for certain functions, like for example, commenting, you need to be online. But you can switch. You can do everything that I've done so far is offline. Even though there is a 4G modem, I can easily do it without the 4G modem inside. So you can do a lot without being live. And you can all back to replays are those replay clips saved to SD card, so you can access those clips afterwards. And can you make like a separate highlight video showing the replays? I don't think that this one has replay. Let me check if that is correct. Okay, so the Yolobox Mini does not have a replay, so I need to figure that out. But it does use the SD card as a caching mechanism, I think. Well, no, I don't think that it saves the. Well, no, it does not save the replay by itself. No. So what it does is you either need to be streaming or you need to be running a recording in order to use replay. So in case of recording, it uses the cache of the recording to go back, and the same thing goes for the live stream. If you're live streaming, it uses the cache that it uses to live stream for the replay. If you're not doing one of those, then it doesn't have any caching to work with. That's basically what it says. So yeah, so that's one of those functions that you need to do something, otherwise it will not work. And you're not able to create a highlight reel. That's something that is really something that you need, for example, the replay function of vMix for to make that work. Otherwise, it will not do that for you. It's literally a replay for that moment, and not for a full set, for example. Go Web Technology says, what types of events are you do you recommend the Yolobox for? What about redundancy? Yeah, so I know that a lot of people that there are people that are actually making streams and also having paid gigs with the Yolobox. Personally, I would not use it for that, to be honest. I think it's not good enough for that perspective. However, for if you're a sales person and you just want to show something, or you are a business person that wants to present a proposal or a architectural vision or something, looking at myself, then this will be a very good situation, because it is okay to make mistakes then. In a good big event paid, I would not use the Yolobox. My personal opinion, I would go for the ATEM. You know that, right? But for me, the use cases with the Yolobox Pro and Yolobox Mini are either mobile streaming or corporate events, but also if you are performing sports, or you want to sport with a team and you want to stream what the team is doing, go ahead and use the Yolobox. It's really good for that. Definitely something that is good. Redundancy wise, not there. So it acts as if it's a professional product. You can be very professional, but it doesn't have the same redundancy as you have, for example, with an ATEM based environment, or maybe a hybrid environment with vMix and ATEM together. I like OBS Studio, says Veal. Instant replay uses the same file and overwrites always the replay file. Yeah, indeed. So, and I think also that OBS, but also Wirecast, and also vMix, and also all the other different brands also use basically roughly the same ideas. I know that, for example, if you have the 4K version of vMix, like I have on my computer right here, then you will be able to run replay on one camera, If you have the Pro version, then you will have up to 4 cameras at your disposal, and then you can also pick and choose what angle that you would like to have. But in both cases, you can create a reel. So you can say, okay, this is a goal for PSV. This is a goal for Ajax. This is a fault or a red card, green card, and that kind of stuff. And you can add that all on top of each other, and then make one big show reel of the whole game. But that is not possible on this device, unfortunately. Let me check if I forgot something here, because I basically everything is the same. So I do think that this I've already showed. This I already showed. I showed the scoreboard again. Auto switching I showed. And basically these are the settings. And here also the same thing. It has program out and it has USB out. However, here comes the kicker. I am not able to run a webcam out like so. I do need to add one small piece of hardware to make that work, and that is roughly this part right here. I'm going to show what it looks like. Give me a second. So that's this one right here. Basically, this is a female USB-C to male USB-A, and I'm gonna put that on the USB-A slot right here. Oh, other way around, I think. Yeah. Once I've done that, so I've added it right here, then I can use a USB-C to USB-A to connect the USB-A to the laptop. And then it will automatically see the Yolobox as a webcam and as a microphone. So you will be able to run it with Teams and Zoom. And this is perfect. And this is the reason why I think that looking at in hindsight, I would faster use the Yolobox Mini, because it's so nicely small and really cute for my if I have a presentation where I am the sole presenter, and I want to bring in some slides, but I also want to make it very nice and very professional, then I will use the Yolobox Mini for that. If I have a presentation with multiple people, I would go with the Yolobox Pro, because I have not 1 but 3 HDMI ports, and I will have more flexibility. Because I can also bring in, for example, a laptop, for example. In both cases, and I have not tried that yet, there should be a possibility to bring in a guest. And the way that works, and now I need to go back to the other Yolobox. So let me do that quickly. Let me remove this camera. Let me switch off the camera. Remove this one. Remove this one. Remove this one. Then I'm going to switch it off. So switching it off like so. It does have no fan noise, by the way. More than the laptop. Let me remove this one and get the other. So now I have this one again. Switching it on. So, adding camera. Okay, switching it on. Oh, and of course I want to have the SD card back. SD card. So, and then get this one right here. Oh, okay. So I'm back on the Yolobox Pro. There you go. If I then go into monitor mode, I think that it might be not working at the monitor mode due to the fact that, oh yeah, here you've got the same overlays like I said previously. Yeah, so that's roughly the same thing. But what I wanted to figure out, if that if I add input, if I'm able to bring in a guest. And I think that I need to be live for that. I have not tried it yet. So this is something that I still need to figure out. But there is a possibility, 100% for sure, that you can bring in a guest. What that guest gets is a web link, and they can log on, and they will be in Safari or Chrome browser, and then they just see the end result, and everything will be there, mix minus, the whole shebang, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I've not done it before. I do think that I need to be live in order to make that happen, but it is what it is. Let me see. Think that's no comments anymore. Perfect. All right. Well, in that case, I would like to end this show. So now, looking at the Yolobox, I think that both of them are really good. I like them for what they are. Really nice, capable devices. If you don't have a lot of pixel perfect branding that you would like to have, but you want to have a very professional looking stream, but easy to use, so people that are not very technical, then I think that these boxes are really good for big events, paid events. There are people that are doing it, but I don't want to do that with that. I have the reason for that is that I'm not fully in control, in my opinion. You still have some wishful thinking, and I really want to be in full control for that. So that's the reason why I will still use the ATEM more often for paid gigs than, for example, the Yolobox. That's my idea. Again, both of them are really good. I will start using the Yolobox Mini for my corporate streams, because this is really good, especially with that small thing that I need to add. I was a bit worried that I needed to do a lot of things, but it's literally only that part right there, and then you're done. So that's it. Niels asks, have you had any crashes or outages? I presume that you're talking about the Yolobox. The answer to that question is no. It has been stable for so long. However, granted, I've been only using it for 8 hours, maybe 10 hours or so. So, really, I mean, live streaming and of course a lot of playing around, that definitely. But I've not seen it crash on me at all. Indeed, you can bring in a guest. It has some troubles to add 5 guests. His Yolobox stopped working. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm not expecting too much guests. That's not a good idea. But to bring in 1 guest, I think that would be cool. But I do believe that you need to be live for that feature to be available. With that, and with the comment of Phil, thank you, Petra. We might have to purchase Yolobox device. It's so versatile. Streamer, Switch knife, and Orbital says, thanks, Petra, for your show. Danke, says he also says to MT. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend, and let me know what you think about the new, setup as you've seen at the moment. I think that it's quite stable. Even though I do still have a feeling that the video is a bit choppy, but I'll check that at a later stage. Have a fantastic weekend. See you around. Bye-bye.